And welcome to The View. Now, yesterday, or Monday, actually, Chris Brown pleaded guilty to felony assault charges and was sentenced to 5 years probation and 180 days labor in Virginia. But some domestic abuse groups say the sentence sends a bad message to kids because he's not doing any jail time.
Well, one of the producers said that her son is, they're talking about it. He's a kid. How old is Jennifer's kid? 9 years old. And they're saying, hey, he got away with it. And so it's coming through as, you know, that way.
Yeah, they see
which
no
is
jail
not
time
good for the kids. Yeah.
And they think no real punishment. Some other people were thinking, I wondered if it was, because it was a female judge that gave the sentence for the community service and labor.
What do you think that has to do with it?
I wonder if it would have been, I always wonder if it would have been different if a man was making the judgment. I don't know, about a domestic abuse. If women see it differently, if men see it differently. They really shouldn't as judges, but you have to wonder sometimes too.
But also this is for a first-time offender, this is a typical sentence. I would hope that this is a young man. Rather than seeing him in prison doing time, because prison does not rehabilitate you. I would rather see him taking, he and Rihanna, taking some kind of classes to heal, to get better. This is a perfect opportunity. Do they have to? He's got to take anger management classes. I would love to see Rihanna, because there's something to be said for a woman who is in a relationship and she stays for the abuse. So I think that she needs to get help as well. But I think this is a perfect opportunity for parents to be able to talk to their children about this. Maybe write letters to the judges about harsher sentences.
Or maybe we should be saying to our kids, here's what, punishment doesn't just mean going to jail. Punishment means 140 hours of hard labor in your home state, depending on what your judge in the state says you're going to be doing. Maybe if we took a little time to explain what consequences are, that they're not always the biggest consequences in the world, but that his behavior led to him having to scale down his life, make time to do all this other stuff when he could have been out making a record, he could be doing a lot of things. But because of his behavior, and again, have parents explain that because he hit Rihanna, not you, Sherry, but one saying that he is an abuser, as though this is chronic with him, when we don't know, is a little hot. We have to be really careful how we talk to our kids.
We just have to also be careful about the event of reoccurrence. We saw, you know, yesterday I mentioned that there is a high reoccurrence rate in terms of domestic abuse, that it was up to, like, I think 31% re-abuse. So we have to wonder if the system is accurately allotting these punishments, we'll call them, to people who do abuse domestically.
No, he didn't. We don't know that.
But if a woman goes back, as we said yesterday, if you're in an abusive relationship and you're able to get out, every group will tell you, do not go back. Women put it in their heads that maybe this was just a phase and he's forgiven me. They
Sometimes
make
they're
it
married to the person,
but
you
don't go back.
Go back.
Don't go back.
It's not as easy. It's not as easy to leave.
That they describe it as a syndrome.
That's why I say everybody.
Maybe more than one person should get counseling in this situation.
Hi. Could I say two things about it? One, Rihanna did not testify. You have talked about this before, Whoopi, and following up what you said. We don't know the whole story. We don't know what happened that produced this action. And we probably are not going to find out. So there's more, perhaps, to this than we know. Could I finish things? The second thing is, there was a song in a Broadway show, I think it was Into the Woods, I'm not sure, that said, children will listen. And one of the things that you've just talked about, this is an opportunity. Remember, when we see things in the paper, this little boy, our producer's boy, is 9 years old. Kids are much more aware, much more grown up. They see things that we think, oh, it's not going to matter to them. And this is an opportunity to say, you may have read this or you didn't. Let us tell you what this is all about.
Can I just say one thing? I just think that my bottom line, and you know where I'm coming from, is boys don't hit girls. Boys do not hit. They should not hit a girl.
If you hit a guy, he can hit you back.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No. Two wrongs don't make a right. I don't care if you're a guy and a girl.
My statement is for those people out there, those mothers listening who have boys, you teach your boys you do not hit a girl. The girls must be taught, do not be provocative, but even if the girl is provocative, the boy does not hit her. No violence.
That makes no sense to me. If you think it's wrong for somebody to hit you and you hit them back, if you tell a girl, you know what, boys are not going to hit you, you're saying to a girl, you know what, so you can provoke him.
No, I'm not saying that.
But that's what people are saying. That's what you say.
When you look at, say, weight class in boxing, okay, you have to also look at the physical advantage that someone has over the other, okay? So to even give a window of opportunity to a man to hit back to a woman when the woman may be 120 pounds and the guy may be 260, I think you have to also consider that as well, because there's a weight advantage, there's a power advantage, and I don't think there's, not always, but I think you have to say,
Joy, I think you have to say, and you're on the right track, I think you have to say to both boys and girls, we do not hit.
I agree with that.
Boys, wait.
Wait a second. That is implicit.
And I want to go back to what you said. Then the boy or the girl can look up, and this is a discussion we had yesterday, and say, but Mommy, you hit me, because you talked about walking
Barbara,
with
are you saying because I say that I spank, a girl can look up and go, well, because you hit me, Mommy.
I'm not sure they can't.
No, I'm not even going with that.
Mommy, you
but what I do say is this puts a face on abuse, and that hopefully it will make parents say to their daughters, you know what, you don't have to keep this secret from me. You can come to me and you can talk to me. Let's try to do something about this.
Well, children should talk to their parents, for sure.
Well, I mean, they should, but, you know, with this, it's just being a big celebrity case.
Ladies, if you are within the sound of my voice, let it be known, your man may be the best man in the world, but if you hit him in the face, you cannot be surprised if he hits you back. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that. I agree with that. You should not be surprised if someone hits you back.
Terrible.
But I'm saying, on another level, teach your children, do not hit. Do not hit. Especially the boys. Especially the boys. They will grow to be bigger than the girls. You cannot encourage hitting boys against girls.
You should not encourage it at all. I say to my 3-year-old,
I don't think
but there's a part where you defend where after so much, you got to expect something's going to happen. You cannot keep
away.
You can't
walk away.
You try to walk away. That's what you should be teaching.
Let me ask you this, because yesterday we showed Perez Hilton's rant about getting hit by the Black Eyed Peas, supposedly by the Black Eyed Peas manager. And now GLAAD, G-L-A-D-D, wants Perez to apologize for yelling an anti-gay slur at singer will.i.am that night. Now, Perez says GLAAD is further victimizing him, and it's hard to think rationally when a, quote, thug disguised as a musician is screaming at you. Thoughts?
Two things. I'm always with two things. Why is it always two things? Why not one thing?
Yeah,
why not three things? I'm always saying two
One for
things.
both sides of your brain.
First of all, GLAAD is people. GLAAD is gay and lesbian, in case people don't know. He talked about, because what he did was did a homosexual slur, right? Okay, and he himself is openly gay. And I read his statement, which is very long and talks about, you know, I shouldn't have done this and so forth. But words can hurt, but I use the words. But you know what? He never apologizes. This is 2 pages long, and he has not apologized.
But he also,
apology goes like this. I'm sorry.
But no, he's not sorry. But Perez said, I used the worst thing that I thought against will.i.am. And GLAAD is saying...
But he should be even more aware.
You're putting yourself in a dangerous situation. That's just the same with the N-word. You go up and you use the worst thing you can against a person. You go, you N-word. And then you go, they're supposed to walk away. Some people will, some people won't. So you knew when you said, I'm using the worst thing that I can think of against a person, that something might happen. So you didn't deal with it nonviolently. Your words can damage as well.
I think Perez should apologize say,
Well,
I did the wrong thing, and move on.
But look at his first
every day it's another,
Look at his first sentence, Barbara. Read it. Read the first
sentence.
sentence.
Words can hurt. I know that very well from both sides of the fence.
Well, that says it. He has learned a lesson, I think.
So apologize.
Well, he should, because his words hurt also, and his words hurt
he doesn't think that his words hurt.
Well, he may think twice, though, next time he goes to write something that will be really pointed. You know, there's a way to critique people, but when you start in on people's personal facial features or their body types, you know, that's the stuff that gets people out of their minds. You can talk about my work. You might not like my movies or my music. Yeah. That's okay, because that's your job as a critic, as somebody who does that. But when you start talking about it, and your nose is the size of Guantanamo, and your hips, you know, when you start with that kind of stuff that is funny to some,
and you take hurtful things and you write about it.
And so it's the same thing.
Perez Hilton's a gossip columnist, and there are others, and I'm not going to do the names, who go out of their way to picture you, to do the worst possible thing, because that's what's going to make them popular.
Well,
how can I hurt? How can I destroy them?
Some people can't. That's right. Some people can't.
But he was crying on his videotape, so it shows you that he's feeling something.
No, he was crying because his eye was hurt. He got popped in it.
Excuse me. Let him just say, I apologize.
I need to.
Elizabeth.
Yes, go, Elizabeth.
Thanks for allowing me this moment. This week, a claim was filed with regard to my book, The G-Free Diet, and I just want to assure you that the